All right, we have to officially open the meeting before we can do that. And we just opened the meeting, so. Welcome, everyone. Ann Lee will not be here today. She has become employed for the next 2 months. And will
Busy lady.
She will miss this meeting and the one in December. So, but she's helping out at a school that needs some help. So God bless her.
Good.
And we will keep her informed as we go along, so. And David will be about an hour late. He also works, and so he has sometimes difficulty getting out of work to get here, but we have a quorum without him. So, and we have Liz, and we have Amy, and we have Sue, and I forget your name.
And we have Ryan.
Ryan. I always want to say Brian, and my son's Brian, that's why.
Ryan's
Ryan.
our Salem State social work intern.
Yes.
I think I've talked about him a few times already.
Yep.
All good
And
things.
Nancy is here from the Friends.
Yeah, I have no idea what Barbara is.
Well, that's okay. When she's here, she's here. So, welcome. And just the usual reminder, this is an open meeting, so we must adhere to the laws. Thank you very much.
I did bring napkins.
And we thank you, Mary, for bringing some homemade pumpkin bread. If any of our guests would like some, you're welcome to
Yes,
come up, please,
absolutely.
and help yourself. There's
Take
napkins and
2 or
bread right
3.
here. There's plenty. So, come on, Ryan, you can come up. Come. So,
It's more like a spiced bread.
it's very nice. So, all right. Do we have announcements from the board members?
No?
Nothing? Ooh. I have
Well, I
2.
would say that Sue is doing a nice job on the notes.
Well, that's true. Thank you, and thank you for saying that. That's very true. She's
Well,
doing a
yeah.
great job on taking our minutes and getting them done and submitted for us. It's a big help, huge help. So,
Star employee.
I have 2 announcements. The first one is relating to Ann Lee. She did ask that I convey to our viewers the fact that there will be a memory cafe at the Baptist Church this coming Saturday, the 23rd, not the 30th. So usually it's the last Friday of the month, Saturday, but it's the 4th, supposed to be the 4th, I think, correct, Maureen? And so it is the 23rd. So people need to, if you are a caretaker or, have a loved one, you're welcome to come. There's no charge for the Memory Cafe event. It is run from 10 to 12 this coming Saturday at the First Baptist Church. And this Saturday, they're going to be doing Thanksgiving crafts and playing games and things of that nature. So please make a note of that. Tell friends. For our viewers, please tell your friends if you know of anyone that really could benefit from some structured time with a person who has difficulty with their memory. It's a very valuable group and well-liked. So.
We had about 14 people at the last one. It was really, really fantastic. The guy came in and played, and everybody was singing. We have a lady in our church who is about as straight as she can be. She can hardly move. She was bouncing up and down and singing.
Oh, that's great.
It is good, so. And Ann Lee has taken this upon herself. She works with children as in her profession as a teacher, but she has gone to conferences about memory loss and Alzheimer's and things of that nature and cognitive problems. And so kudos to her for doing that. And the second announcement I have is for everyone, and viewers, please listen carefully because we are excited. I don't know how many years ago now, it must be at least 2 or 3 years ago, the planning board, came forth and we had a new bylaw adopted in town whereby developers had a choice of if they were developing new homes, a certain percentage, number of those new homes could be designated and considered affordable housing units. And, or if they chose not to do that, they had to make a financial contribution to the Affordable Housing Trust, which is now established in Littleton. The Cooper Farms Estates chose to have affordable units, and they were mandated to have 3. Those 3 affordable units will be, the owners will be determined by lottery. You have to fill out an application to make sure you qualify. The price of those homes, you know, there's the smaller, they're a little bit smaller than the majority of the houses in the development, but they're not that small. They fit nicely within the development. And the price is $236,000 and $500. I can't say it right. But that's the price. You have to apply. It is a lottery process. It's not just limited to Littleton residents. People from outside of Littleton can apply. So if Littleton residents are interested, please get the information. There is a handout online on the Town of Littleton website. Right when you go on to the Town of Littleton, you open it up, there's a big thing that says something about the affordable units. Click on that, there is a flyer. And it gives you the information about the units. Better than that, they're holding an open house Saturday, December 7th, from 11 to 12:30 p.m. at one of those units. And the address is 20 Dean, D-E-A-N, Lane. And anyone can go to the open house to see the unit. So,
The house that you're seeing in the picture is is about three doors down from my house on Oak Road. They built it as a sample to see if they could do what they could do and how much they could do it for. It does not have an elevator, but it has things like the washing machines and so forth on the first floor, and the master bedroom on the first floor. The second floor would be mainly for visitors or kids or grandchildren, so it really is somewhat senior livable, and at $236,500, it's fantastic.
that's right. So you just need to follow the instructions to be included in the lottery and get your applications in. The lottery itself, I don't think they've come up with a date, but it will be happening soon.
January 15th.
It is January 15th. I thought I had remembered seeing that. And the other piece of news, too, is that the same situation will be coming soon for Jones Meadow, the Cricket Lane, Spectacle Pond area. They will have 2 affordable units, not 3, but 2. And they will be part of the lottery also, and that's going to be happening fairly soon. So just pay attention if you're interested. If you're interested and you're not one of the 3 that gets into Cooper Farms, then, pay attention to know when the Jones, we'll try to announce it when we get wind of it.
Wasn't the Jones one for Littleton only?
No.
No, you can't specify
You can't
that.
specify.
By law, this is a federal, state program, and the actual price of the units is established by the state. And so that $236,500 is what every town and city has to charge in the year of 2019. The price changes every year. Last year it was only $187,000 or something, and it went up this year, so, yeah. But it's a great opportunity, folks. Pass the word to your friends, neighbors, whatever. Even if you don't think you're interested, please let people know about it.
I have a question for Liz.
Sure.
If the people apply for the lottery for the first one and do not get it, do they automatically go into the second lottery, or do they have to reapply?
I think they have to reapply.
I can find out a definite answer on that one. I don't know for sure.
But remember at the housing forum recently, and they were talking about the fact that, they didn't address that in particular, but they talked a lot about the fact that you can apply to 5 or 6 different
Yeah, all over the
places
state.
all over the state.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just here in town.
I think we can assume that since they're different builders and different units, that it probably is going to have to be a separate sign-up for each lottery, but
I think so too, but we'll find out. Okay, with that, I do not have another announcement. Those are the 2 announcements. I really wanted to call attention to the lottery coming up for the affordable units. So,
Okay.
if there are no other announcements, we will move on. Welcome, Barbara McRae.
Wait a minute, we gotta look the minutes.
We have to do the minutes. You can sit up here. You can sit while we talk about our minutes, it's fine. You don't have to move twice, so. The next agenda item is accepting the minutes from the October 21st meeting. You received them online, and you have them in your hand.
So moved.
So, we have a motion on the floor to accept the minutes from the October 21st meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's a second by, I saw Susan and heard Maureen at the same time. Does it matter to you?
Doesn't matter to me.
Sue likes to get names. It was Bob Stetson
Pick one.
and Susan. Well, let Susan do it this time. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, please say aye or
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? None. Thank you. We're good to go. And again, thank you, Sue, for doing this. Now you're on, Barbara. The friends, you're on.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
You have a copy of the minutes of their October 2nd meeting in your packet.
Yep. Well, I'm just going to tell you about our next luncheon. And if I've left anything out, I know that Nancy Levine will fill it in for me. So I just want to let everybody know that December 11th is the holiday / Christmas luncheon that we are having here for the seniors. We are serving lasagna, and we have the Acton Community Chorus coming to do the music.
Oh.
So we're really happy about that, Andy, for that has been working hard on our programs, and so they have agreed to come. We're just telling everybody, well, actually, we feel that December 9th, is that the date that they should be calling in by, I believe? 2 days before.
Monday.
More than that. We had December 9th written down, so. But anyway, for calling in to make their reservation. But call in and make a
Call in until the
reservation
first,
anyway.
right?
I'm sorry?
But you can't call in until the 1st.
No, call in anytime now.
Oh, they're not,
That's changed. Did that change?
We did, right? Because I thought that, we're actually a little confused about this because we were saying you can call in anytime. Then we changed it to you have to start calling in the
First of all.
first, correct?
right.
And then it was, this isn't working, call in anytime. So how about Sue, you want to tell me?
We were doing the first to give everybody a fair chance, because a lot of people didn't have the broadcaster until right around that time frame.
Okay.
But because this one,
The November lunch.
yeah, and it's not noted in, when you have the advertisement, it's not noted in there that you have to call at a certain time, like December 1st. So we just started taking the reservations, but the reason that Lizard decided, it was because, and I've mentioned to her, it's not fair that the people who are in the building or come see, whatever, they see the flyers, the people in the broadcaster only, they get mad at us. And like, how can this be filled up when I just got the broadcaster? So I think with this, nothing was said on this one, so people have started signing up, but
Yeah.
I personally, from getting the phone calls, think it's a good idea to have a cutoff, start on the 1st of each month, but this one was quicker.
Yeah, well, sometimes I believe too that when the luncheon is earlier in the month,
Yeah.
we want them to call in earlier. So, I don't know.
Well,
We
that's
really
the
need to
same-
be consistent, though, I
Just
think.
make a decision.
Well,
That's the
Yes.
same with my craft class.
It's not our choice.
They
It's the
sign up.
board's choice.
If they
it
can't
is not
sign
their
up,
choice.
like my class is the 4th, this.
I'm going downstairs after the meeting and sign up, so that's when
I just, my personal feeling is that everything has to be right across the board, the same thing, so it's
Yeah.
not advertised
Correct,
as sign up for December 1st, so what are we gonna do? We start taking them,
Yeah.
My, before it was.
Should be
stated
a
that way.
policy.
my broadcaster didn't come until after the 2nd or 3rd.
2nd and 3rd,
of November.
Hmm.
I didn't get mine till
There's
the
nothing
4th.
that we can do
There
about
is
it.
really no solution as
No,
far
I'm just making a
the
statement.
calling in. The thing is that you'll know about a luncheon the month before.
Okay, don't get all riled up now, dear Robert.
Before it happens. Can't help it, I'm Italian, the hands go. Anyway, you will always know there's a luncheon coming up the next month. So either look for the ads or call in and find out and sign up. That's all that I can think of, because,
I would just like to jump in back, Sue, and say that if we're being asked to take the list of names, I prefer it after the 1st. We made an exception for November because it was within the first 6 days of the week,
Okay.
the month. But I prefer after the first people sign up.
The 1st and after.
The
so
first
in
and
other
after.
words,
If there's a special circumstance where the lunch is within the first week of the month, then we'll note it in the broadcaster and say sign up early.
okay, and even if you don't get the broadcaster, you'll know there's a luncheon coming up. There's always a luncheon coming up the next month. So,
People can
look for
just call
flyers.
on the first day of the month.
yeah, look for your flyers, or look for your broadcaster, talk to your friends, and when the 1st comes up, call in and make your reservation. We want everybody to be able to come, and we certainly want people that didn't make it the last time because they didn't make the sign up on time. So kind of keep thinking of that. And
Well, that's why I think it's good
That's
for
one thing we have to remember, is that the reason we did this was because people were not getting the notice, and then the thing was
Missing out.
already full before they ever had a chance to sign up.
Right.
And they had to be on a waiting list, and in most cases did not get to go, so.
yeah. We know we're going to have people that sign up or don't sign up on time, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
But this is just
And unfortunately, too, people sign up and then realize they're not going to attend, but don't call and cancel.
yeah.
And they
And that,
They should call to
people
cancel.
should be learning that they need to call and
It would be
notify us.
fair. It would be fair.
Because then, other people can have their seat.
I have one question. Are you still doing $5 for Littleton and $7 for out of town?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still going to be doing that. And January, we're going to celebrate the Chinese New Year. And we're looking into all the things we want to do for that day too. Because we thought that it'd be fun. We've changed things a little bit as far as themes go. After that will be a Mardi Gras. And, but that's all you need to know right now about those 2 months. It's January, Chinese New Year, February, Mardi Gras. And we hope that everybody who wants to come can come, and they sign up.
After the first and after of the month.
Right.
That's the rule.
Okay, and
Yes,
I'll
so-
let Nancy
When you
take
put
over.
something
She's
in the
got,
newspaper, whoever does it,
News.
can you put sign up against
Yes.
January 1st or February 1st? Because when it goes in the paper, wherever it is, it doesn't stipulate that. So that's how we have people calling, and then, like I say, they get a little bit frustrated. Then the other issue I found is, it says Littleton residents and non-Littleton residents. So I found, like, it worked out for the veterans. We had a couple Westford people that were coming in there with veterans, but we had to put the Littleton residents on a wait list, which I
that's
don't
wrong.
think is the best
No, that's wrong.
policy. So that means now we're gonna have to have another list for non-residents. You know what I'm saying? Because that took 4 places from Littleton people
That's
who
right.
could have gone.
But I thought
to the-
on the sign-up sheet, there's a space to put an L for
It does, but it
Littleton.
doesn't make any difference. I mean, it says you can be a resident or a non-resident. So if a non-resident calls up, they're put on the
Oh, okay,
list.
yeah, right.
And then I found out later, and I think everybody was able to get in on that, so it worked out well. There were 5 Littleton residents who couldn't get in because of the Westford residents, so kind of.
Littleton, call in the 1st, that morning. But like you say, by doing it this way too, the list is calling you like all in one day or something.
That's all right, that's okay. Yeah, but like I say, you know, when I first started here, I found that, and that's why I mentioned it to Liz, and I just personally didn't think it was fair, because everybody knew about this ahead of time. Everybody saw the flyers in here, and then we'd have about 15 or 20 spots left when the broadcaster went out. Now, Liz knows, I get these people with my whip, you know, to get that broadcast real quick. I mean, we might get it on Monday afternoon, and I bring it over on Wednesday. Everybody works really hard to get that out. When you get it, it's not, some people get it the day later, some people get it, you know, 5 days later.
Yeah.
But,
And some
then I-
people don't read it till 5 days
Right,
later.
and that's their problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I just found the issue with people upset with us that it was already filled up. We had 15 slots left, and I have 25 people calling.
Well, we did it this way on purpose because not every year for Veterans Day luncheon is it full. It's usually around 75 to 80.
Yeah.
This year it was over 100 that signed up.
Well, that was just an example of that particular
Yeah, but see,
thing.
we can never count on it, and it was on purpose. It was done to include all veterans in surrounding towns, not just Littleton. So we wanted them to come too and not feel left out. And so, but
Okay.
now, this year, we had everyone sign up, and some were turned away, but some didn't call in to cancel, actually.
Excuse me, Nancy, too, I was going to say something when Sue was talking, but people can't hear you on TV when you're sitting in the audience. You need to come up. And we've already made a decision that it's after the 1st. So I think we need to move on.
What does that do for the craft classes and other classes?
They can-
Does that, they can sign up anytime?
Oh, the 1st, after the 1st, every
Because my
month.
sign-up sheet is full for 30
No,
people.
This is just for the luncheon, so that's not.
So this is just for the
No, wait,
luncheon?
no, wait a minute, that's a list, I mean, I don't think, that's an office.
Is that
thing.
everybody?
No, that was just for the luncheons,
Okay,
but if you
okay.
want to specify for your class, we can talk about it. Yeah,
We'll
Okay.
talk about it for another meeting, I don't want to hold it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a operations.
It's a office thing, so.
It's interesting that this was brought up because I wanted to talk to you about this subject. You cannot always count on whichever paper you send it to, even the Action Unlimited, that they're gonna print it the week you want it to be printed. You cannot count on that.
Yeah, and you don't get it until later.
And so,
It's already out.
I don't agree with the first, but I understand why. But I can't tell you, when I send something to the Independent, if they ever print it, that's a shock. But the Action Unlimited, they're usually pretty good, but they weren't the last time. The article wasn't there. So I think we need to do it the week before the 1st, but in our advertisement say, don't call this number until the 1st. Is that okay?
Reservations accepted.
Reservations accepted
After.
after the 1st, or the 1st and after.
The Independent, we had them come, you don't all get the Independent anymore.
No.
And I understand why. First page, they gave a story about particularly the Gold Star wife. And they have pictures inside. Of course I did it, but she was probably afraid.
Yeah.
Can I tell you why they're in that paper? Because Nancy is one of those that says, do it. Do it now. You're not doing your job. And
Right.
so it turns out that she gets action.
And look,
Nice.
They gave us, that was great
Yeah, they gave
coverage.
us a big spread, that was really nice.
and if you go online to Wicked Local, click on Photos Littleton, you'll see a lot of pictures that were taken out of
She
that.
was taking a lot, great.
A lot. And I also wanted to, she mentioned in here, she mentioned every single thing that we did. And every single little thing. For instance, the pictures that were on the wall that the Boy Scouts drew. And some of our guests took the pictures off to take home with them. They were that special.
Well, they were their grandparents, they were the,
Oh,
Cub
Cub
Scouts.
Scouts, sorry, Cub Scouts. And on the wall, artwork from local school children bore images, words of thanks. It was very sweet. She mentioned the tech catering online. You can see the pictures that she took of them cooking in the kitchen. It was really a great article,
Yeah.
really great.
Must have been nothing going on in Chelmsford.
Right, exactly.
You know, along with that, I would like to announce that Il Forno did a free luncheon for veterans, what was it, last week?
Monday.
It was Veterans Day.
Yeah, and that was very, very kind of them. So, our veterans, we're thinking of them.
Mm-hmm.
And El Forno is going to give the people in Littleton a free lunch next month. 3 seatings. I don't have the calendar in front of me. It's the second Monday in December.
December
Who's
9th.
doing
Is it the 9th?
9.
Who's doing it?
El Forno, like they did
Like
last year.
last year.
Il Forno.
Oh, that's for the, yeah, okay, it's
Like
in
last
January.
year.
You have
That's
it.
just the Il Forno
December.
thing, that's not the Friends thing, right?
Right,
That's just Il Forno.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You said December?
9th,
December 9th.
Monday.
Same day as our board meeting in December.
Yeah.
But that happened last year,
Yeah.
but we all went
Yeah.
to the first seating,
Okay.
I think, pretty much all of us.
Now, do we sign up for that?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, we sign up for it.
yes. I have to get the specifics, but I think it's 11 to 12, no,
Yeah, 11 to 12.
11:30 to 12:30.
11, 12, and 1.
And one.
Sue's organizing that.
So 11,
I have
12, and 1.
And that's open to anybody, not just Littleton
Anybody.
residents.
Oh, it's
Oh,
not
it
just
is?
Littleton residents? I thought it was Littleton residents.
That's what I was told, it was by next door, it was open to anybody.
But
Wow.
it's for Littleton residents.
Who told you that? Sue?
Diane Dickerson, according to
Mike?
Nina.
When is it, the 19th?
No, the
Ninth.
9th.
Nine.
9th, I'm sorry.
From what I understood from El Forno, and we'll get it straightened out, is that it's for Littleton residents only, but if you show up and you're not from Littleton, they're not gonna say no.
And is there a limit to the number of people that they
Yes,
can take?
75 per
Each
seating,
time.
per seating.
And now they have that extra room this year.
Mm.
They've done a
They can
beautiful
still
job.
only allow 100 people at a time.
Right, it's a fire law.
Yes. And I think that's it. Any questions for me?
No.
And that's a volunteer luncheon, that's only for volunteers.
No, no.
All Littleton residents.
All residents. And town, so sign up
And
early.
then 2 days later is the
First.
holiday luncheon.
Really after the first.
Luncheon ourselves.
Well, that's gonna be the next question.
What?
What?
Does that sign up happen after the first?
Which one?
I don't
The
know.
holiday
It's an office
luncheon?
decision.
No, the Il Forno luncheon.
No, I thought that.
No, that kind of sprung up on us.
So
And people
anytime.
started- Yeah.
So we can go down and sign up for it now? Okay.
I gotta go down to the office when I leave here. All right. Anything else for the Friends? Thank you both. All right, moving on to old business. Follow up on the working group for senior center. There was a meeting last Friday, just last Friday, at 4:15. It is now when we're meeting. And there's some progress, but the reports from the architects are not in yet. However, and I know Nina was going to be she had missed a call because she had to be in Boston last week on the day that they were having a space needs call. And so she was going to be following up on that and sending out an email to us. And I checked my email this morning, but anyway, I don't know whether that's happened during the day today. But basically, that's where it's at. The architects have pretty much completed. They're still putting things together. I think that's a fair statement. And we just don't have anything hard, fast in front of us yet, but it's coming soon.
Good.
So,
We're meeting again in about 2 weeks, right?
we are meeting, I think it's like December 5th, right before, yes,
Thursday.
before the town fair. It was changed to a Thursday. Make sure I've got it.
And the town fair is on 7th.
Yeah, 4:15 on Thursday, the 5th. Unless something comes up and, which makes it not sensible to do that.
I might just want to say that this group is very interesting. It includes people from the Friends, people from the COA board. Liz is there, Nina is there, and two people from the selectmen. And we had a very interesting discussion on Friday. And it was so well done that Joe Knox made it a point to say, we need to have more of this and more discussions like this. So he's, the selectmen are very happy with us in terms of the working group and pushing and working on it. But it was just a good meeting.
It was a great discussion, and essentially, just to give you we talked about the focus groups a little bit which we'll get to. But the discussion was, how do we try to reach the 50 and up population in this town? How can we manage to get in contact with them, and different ideas were tossed around. It was, and a little
And if we
discussion.
come up with an answer, we'll give it to you people.
Right, yes we do. And also the discussion about the fact that there's some, a lot of feelings that we've learned about already, about whether a place should be, the word senior should be in the name of a senior center, and the reaction that causes in people, so. So there was a good discussion about that, too, so. It was a great meeting. I mean, we were there, I didn't get home until almost 6 o'clock, I think it was.
I suggested the little 50-plus-year-olds.
Yes. But it was good, it was great input, I thought it was a great meeting. So.
And one more thing, I'm sorry, I forgot to say. I don't need to go up there, I'll speak louder. We came out with the funding letter that was supposed to go out with the broadcaster, which it did, but it did not go out to those online. So I thought that we were still gonna do that online, right?
I didn't think we had discussed it. I mean, we can upload it with the next one.
This was discussed at our board meeting, and it's in our minutes.
That was discussed. I was there for that part. I remember you bringing that up
Yeah.
before I left.
And Nicole said she would discuss it with you. Okay.
Didn't get to it.
It will, it'll get done. So. Basically, is there anyone, and Nancy and Barbara and Bob and myself, Patty, anyone else have anything to offer on that meeting last Friday? But that's where it stands right now, so we're close to hearing from the architects. And I know people are anxious to get that information. So.
I think the focus groups that you're having are great.
We're gonna get to that too, so but thank you. Thank you. So. Okay, and here it is, the update on the focus groups. So, we had scheduled 4 focus groups in October. And 3 were held. The 4th one was the one that was scheduled for 8:30 in the morning. And we learned that was not a popular time.
We had a
So,
few sign-ups, but not enough to make it worth holding. Not enough discussion would be
Yeah.
had.
so, but they were great. And we've already had a little bit of mention, even Nancy was commenting on that. What we've done is taken what we heard, or, not verbatim, but one of the things that just struck me was the reaction of people when they were asked, what are the first 3 words that pop into your head when you hear the word senior? So, anyway, from there, and I also was taken by some of the comments made by, we did have one person, which we'll get to in a little bit later when we talk about the visibility of the COA board, but this one person who was in the 50 age group had some wonderful comments that were shared about the value of the group and how much they appreciated coming and didn't realize they were going to appreciate coming until they did, So we'll get into that a little bit more in depth, but, so basically, I think that I felt the 3 that we did have were quite successful. So.
What are going to happen to the notes that were taken, are they, somebody going to be presented to this board at some
Yep.
point?
Yep, so we have 2 more scheduled in December, the 12th and the 16th, both evening. And I think if we feel like we have enough information across a wide demographic at that point, then we'll put together the report.
Are those going to be advertised on TV?
We're gonna get into that down under, in new business,
Okay.
under C, so if we can able to
Yep,
discussion
that's
about that, we'll fill you in on what we've done so far.
And they're going to be in the late afternoon?
4:30 and 5:30, I believe it is. It'll be right on the front page of the December broadcaster.
Okay.
Nothing in the evening?
4:30 and 5:30, yeah.
That's not the evening for working people.
No, it's
True.
not.
But then we might wanna go back to the drawing board in January, February, when things kind of are a little bit slower for people, you know, we'll
After the
see.
holidays.
After the holidays, so we'll
Yeah.
talk about that too. But the update on the focus groups that were held was the reason, I just didn't wanna have too many things going on at once, but that's why I separated them out on the agenda.
Mhm.
Okay, and then lots going on with the affordable housing issue, and I've asked Maureen if she could, she is our board member who attends the affordable housing trust meetings, and Liz also attends those meetings, but I've asked Maureen if she could give us an update every month, a little bit of an update about if anything's going on, or what, you know, what's happening with that, so that we're all aware. So,
Well, the Littleton rental program has rolled out. There were 2 applicants that were found to be, I don't want to say acceptable, approved.
They were, yeah, they were qualified. got
Yeah, they were
approved.
qualified and they were approved.
Great.
So 2 families will get the $250 a month assistance on their rent for the next 3 years. It's a year and you have to reapply.
Yeah, for a maximum of 3 years.
This isn't TRED, this is...
No.
No,
Okay.
no,
Separate
this is
program.
not TRED. This is SNAP.
LRAP.
LRAP.
Rental assistance
It's got
program.
we have so many initials
Yeah.
these days.
SNAP is food stamps.
There was some discussion brought up about the Morrison House, I believe. And looking at whether or not that would be a good site for developing for veterans. So there was Jerky.
Jerky.
I'm gonna have to start writing down names. It's too many names.
Too many.
Too many
Aren't you
names.
secretary?
Yes, but I hand them off the next morning. I like take them and then I hand them off. So I have nothing. And there's a barn and a house. And the discussion was to see if maybe we could look at moving forward to develop some affordable housing for veterans.
Great.
So.
In that building?
Affordable housing
This is
or
on Robert.
apartments
This is,
or...
Robertson
So
Road.
the neat thing about this is that this property is in the process of becoming owned by the town. And the Affordable Housing Trust Board will have, this will be in their purview to create it into whatever they see fit, if that's the route they choose to take.
Mhm.
So it won't be,
Okay, if you're talking
As
about the one
complex.
that's down off of 119,
is it
No,
dirty?
Durkee is
Durkee.
off of Foster Street.
Right.
Up by the train
that's not the same
station.
one, okay.
You're
Because the
talking
town-
about the
the town
one
didn't
on, you're
quite-
talking about the one on Robinson Road?
Yeah.
That's, I don't
That's
think.
different, okay. Which also has a house in the barn.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but that's kind of,
Sorry.
Really?
So, at any rate, things are moving.
It's exciting, I think,
yeah,
yes.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
this new project will be.
I'm sorry, I didn't even answer my question. Is affordable housing going to be housing as in apartments or as in townhouses, as in individual homes?
So, there's lots of discussion. There was a gentleman who came, and they would like to present to the town, or they're in the process of presenting to the town, some multi-units. So some would be apartments, some would be retail, some would be individual houses, townhouses, condo-type houses down by the train station. And that is also being looked at. So when we talk about them right now, we're trying to figure out the best way to use the limited amount of money that we have to do the best things that we can do.
You have, so the Affordable Housing Trust has only been in existence for
I know.
a year.
A year.
I
So-
still am not trying to picture where we're talking about.
Wait, can
Just
I?
right near the train station?
He doesn't-
It's down by the train station,
Okay,
yes.
So anybody would need to have vehicle transportation or use the vans to get anywhere.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine, I'm just asking, I'm not questioning.
I thought you were going to be asking about the amount of money, I would guess, that the Affordable Housing Trust has.
We have
in it.
just under $500,000.
That's pretty darn good, because you receive money from one of the.
CPC.
CPC. And then the builders who choose not to put affordable units into their
Or open affordable
development,
units,
they
right.
also contribute to that trust account, bank
Correct.
account. So it's going to take time for that to really,
Yep.
Plus, we're supposed to get an additional amount every year.
right,
So hopefully, CPC.
community preservation.
Community Preservation Act.
Oh, okay, yeah. Using too many letters.
That has
The
overwhelmed.
problem is that
Alphabet soup.
that's what I get, is all those letters.
Wow, the affordable.
It's in your nursing
affordable
blood,
housing.
acronyms.
No, the Littleton Affordable Fund would be LAF, so you want to be careful.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, but I've asked Maureen, we're going to include this update on our agenda from now on for, a while, because things are happening and we need to be informed.
Yeah,
So,
they're good things.
and they're all good things, right, but we need to be in the loop of information. So that will just be on your agenda from now on. Thank you, Maureen and Liz.
We still have 16 spots left for the affordable, or the rental assistance program, so.
But you had some in process, right?
Some in process, yeah. Amy,
So-
did you have one completed today? Yeah, okay, so potentially 15 slots.
That's great. Good. That's great. Okay, thank you.
for hanging in there.
Yes, thank you
It's
both.
really interesting.
It is. It's very interesting. It's a lot of learning.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's lots of things that have to go into this.
That's a great committee to be on, though, I think. All right, moving on to new business. We have received a donation from the Morrison Fund of $2,500, and the selectmen always ask us to recommend to them, or suggest where the money should go and be used, and we usually respond to whatever the director feels is the most important need, because she knows where the money is and what's going on. So I'll defer that to you.
Sure. So usually we receive this donation biannually, and we typically put it in TRED. Since we did just go through our TRED cycle, I'd like to allocate this money back into the TRED fund.
Is TRED getting people applying to it so that it's using its funds?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How many did we just have, Amy?
13.
13?
13.
13.
Yeah, it was.
13 people
And they
applied,
benefited a lot.
and this year we had $25,000. We do need to get the word out that we really need people to donate
Donate.
Yes.
to the TRED fund.
It's up on the town website right now. There's a
I saw
donate
that.
now button. You can click, it takes you right to the Unipay site where you can donate online. And this is an approved gift fund, so we can actually solicit donations for this one.
I would move that the gift of the Morrison Fund be designated for the TRED program.
Second.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion from Bob Stetson, seconded by Anita Harding. I'm looking at Sue over here to see if she's got the names.
Okay, thank you.
That the $2,500 be designated for the TRED fund. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any oppositions? Anyone opposed? No, and no abstentions? It's a unanimous vote. Thank you. All right, we'll get that information, the selectmen are meeting tonight. I will try to make sure they get that information for the meeting tonight so they know.
This,
Yeah.
this
Oh.
isn't on the agenda, it'll have to go to the next.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then we don't have to rush.
Yeah, no rush.
Okay, good. All right, and the second item under our new business is there was, we were so fortunate at the football game where we had a table on October 25th, thanks to Anita and Susan, who did all the work. And,
We didn't.
well, you put it together and helped in Liz, so it was it was fun.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it. It was really fun. I was very tired that night when I got home, but it was a great experience.
Good night.
And we had a table right next to the Friends of the Library.
Mhm.
And upon our arrival, I think it was you, maybe Anita, you were told? I think somebody, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, Susan Harvey, who was running the table for the
Right.
Friends of the Library, said to Anita, would you like to tell her? Tell us what she said.
She said that the way they run their bake sales is they don't ask for money. They put it all out on the table, and it's all donations. You donate whatever you want and take your food or whatever. But she said that she was going to make sure that whatever proceeds were made that night, that half of it would come to the COA for a COA center.
It was specified a COA center?
Yes.
It was. Oh,
And
okay.
and
We might
then
have to get clarification then, because the letter that came with it does not specify.
oh, all right. Well, she said that would be a good place to put it, but if that's not
Okay.
it, you
So
know.
it's, well, okay,
So then that was on the 25th.
right.
And then when we went to town meeting that night, we had a table at town meeting. And Sue came in and said she had a donation for us. And she gave us $200.
Nice.
Wonderful.
It's very generous.
Very, very
So
generous.
it was a great, really, so pleasant. There's
Yeah.
such a great group of people.
She said it didn't sell good at the football game, so she went to the library Saturday morning and put her tables up and got rid of them that
Oh,
way.
I hadn't heard that. I thought they were doing well.
Could I read the letter?
Certainly.
Yes.
So the library is happy to donate $200 to the Littleton Elder and Human Services Department, half of the amount raised at the Littleton Middle School during a bake sale at the library COA youth football game held October 25th. This donation is in recognition of your good works to be designated as you see fit.
Okay. Great.
So,
Well, that's wonderful. It was a wonderful evening. It really was. It was a good time. It was.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was.
We
It
need
wasn't
to-
freezing cold, but it was chilly.
Do we need to vote to receive it?
We do.
me too.
I would
And
move that we
well,
vote.
wait just a minute, because we can receive the money, but we need to determine where we're going to put the money. We have several gift funds set up. And so I have a suggestion, and I think it's okay to,
We're allowed to receive donations
Yes, this was
as
unsolicited.
long as we put it in food fund, gift fund.
Yes.
Now, do we have a gift fund,
For the center.
you know, like a program gift fund that we could use it for most whatever we need?
We don't.
Can we establish one so that we can use it for whatever?
I
Oh,
we
we-
could.
we can, I've talked to Steve Venuti about establishing, if we can establish gift funds, and we can. But we have to go to the selectmen
Right.
and get their blessings and approval for whatever. We have several gift funds already set up.
We have the Energy Assistance Gift Fund, the TRED Gift Fund, a new van gift fund, a transportation program gift fund, and an outreach. No, not outreach. No, that's it. Animal assistance.
My problem is I got a feeling that the Friends of the Library are working with us to get a new center, and none of these are going to put money into that particular thing. I don't know what to do about that.
Well, what are the thoughts of the board?
I think that we could somehow talk to Steve Venuti, and he would give you the steps or the way to put the fund together so that it could be a gift fund towards a center, a separate fund.
Oh, I've talked to him
And all
about it.
you have to do at that point, when he tells you how to do it, is get, like you said, the selectmen's permission.
He doesn't have to tell us to do anything. All we have to do, I'm telling you, he said,
Oh,
is go to the selectmen
that's
and
what-
say that the board is requesting, or suggesting, actually, because we don't make, they make the decision.
Right.
But is suggesting that there be if it could be, if you want the money put aside for programs, program development, or for the center, for the senior center, whatever, but the board needs to determine the name of the gift fund.
The Friends are basically going to be raising funds for the senior center, are they not?
You have a separate account for the senior center?
So we don't want to be duplicating what they're doing, do we? I wouldn't think that would be appropriate. But if we don't, I mean, we kind of develop the programs for seniors and whoever comes, adults. So why don't we have a program gift fund that we could use for programs or something, all-purpose gift fund, all-purpose/program gift fund.
I like that.
I mean, it could be program/all-purpose gift fund.
I like that.
yeah, that would allow us to put it wherever
Anywhere.
we needed to later on, because it's all purpose.
As long as the money is unsolicited, there could be additional funds being donated.
Right.
So it would behoove us to establish a gift fund that we had flexibility with, maybe now.
Yeah. So when I'm hearing programs, I'm thinking the activities and socials that we do, but I'm also thinking the outreach program that Amy does. So if someone came to us in an emergency and needed a gallon of milk and bread and apples, I'm wondering if that's something we could use to,
Yeah.
And who would be in
Assist-
control of this fund? You would.
yeah, it would
And
be
you
the
would be the
department.
one that would make the decision.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of encompasses
But
health
within the
and
right
human
place.
services.
Right.
It could be a family, it could be an adult, it could be, I mean,
Do we have any
I'm
funds
just-
for that now?
I'm just talking out loud.
We don't have funds to help someone like that if they came in off the street.
We have
No.
nothing because we don't have it, we cannot solicit funds. So the Friends do that, and then the Friends, we have to go to the Friends and get them to
Right.
approve whatever we're doing.
Right.
What we're doing is setting up a fund. And my problem is with what we call it and how we use it,
Well, that's true, and that's, yeah, I
would
think
have to-
that's what we have to decide,
which could include funds given to us for the
senior center.
senior center.
My opinion is if we're going to have the programs / I don't know what the other word was. All-purpose, thank you, fund, that may be used more because there may be a need more for that. I think if we are given money for a senior center, it should be in a separate fund, because otherwise you could be in a position where people are coming to you and they need help, and you then are ending up using money that people specifically thought that we should have for the
Senior center.
for the senior
Yeah,
center.
there's-
Yeah.
If the donation is designated to a senior center, I have no place to put it right now. I'd probably turn
And
it
see
over to the
that,
friends.
I agree with her.
I can't put it in some other gift account.
I agree with her that if we have a focus group and somebody comes by and says, I'd like to donate $1,000 to your senior center, that there should be a fund to put that in.
Right.
Just like Friends have
Right.
a place,
A
because that's
specific
basically what they want to do for it, not to take away from
No.
bread and milk or, you
I
know,
don't
a
see why
fund
we
like
can't do
that.
both.
I was just gonna say, why
Let's
can't
split
we
it in
ask,
half and do both.
We could have
Right.
two funds.
I
Right.
think that would be a better idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having the all-purpose, because you're right, someone may just be desperate, and their last way of, how am I gonna feed my children tonight is to walk into this building. And if you had some money that was in there, I think that would be a wonderful way for it to be used. But I think if people are specifying senior center, I think it goes in a totally
Absolutely,
different.
right. And we don't have any sort of gift account for under 60. So that's-
I see her, I see her.
Yeah.
That was my question.
Yeah, there's nothing for under 60. Animal care fund, tread can be under 60, but those are very specific things. The transportation gift fund, disabled under 60 can use that.
Does your office have Market Basket gift cards?
Yes,
So that if someone came in
but if they're from the friend, so we can only give them to over 60.
over 60, okay.
I think it's a good idea.
Over 60 years old.
Oh,
I think
Right,
it's a
well,
good
good
idea.
Two
command.
separate funds.
Yes,
Two separate funds?
I think it would be.
Okay.
I can look up the policy and how to.
I would so move that we ask the treasurer to prepare for the selectmen two separate funds, one for programming of the COA as...
Excuse me?
No.
Steve has said he doesn't have to do anything. We have to get the approval from the selectmen, so we don't ask him, but we get the approval, then he does his thing.
Whatever.
So, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't think the motion needs to include going to Steve, because we don't need to do that. So,
I move that we establish two separate funds. One,
ask the selectmen to establish for us.
Approval. Ask the
however we
selectmen
need to
approve.
do it.
Ask for selectmen.
However we need to do it, okay. That one can be specifically for the senior center, and the other for programming and all-purpose needs.
Okay, sounds good.
It needs a second.
Second.
Anita seconded, so is there any further discussion about this?
You okay with that? Got the... I'm voting.
You're voting, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, anyone opposed and any abstentions? Patty has opposed? Are you?
Opposed.
Okay.
I
One
don't want to
opposed.
establish a senior center when I think it's the Friends are doing it.
But the point, I think, excuse me, I just
That's
would
okay,
add,
that's okay.
I was just gonna say, I think what can happen is that what I was hearing was, as long, if nothing, we can't go out and solicit funds, but people can all of a sudden decide that they want to contribute through the COA to a senior center. And then we have to have a place to put the money. That's the only reason we're saying that, people are saying that.
Because if a check would come in to
To
the COA,
Right,
you couldn't give it to the friends of the COA.
No.
Because it came to you.
yes, and people can do that. They can decide they're going to give $200.
So if anybody would like to, we will gratefully accept it.
We will. Anyone watching?
In any denomination.
Right. Hey, every $20 or $10 adds up, and it just
Feel
takes a
comfortable
little,
with
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
so.
Yeah, it'll be.
All right. It has been moved and seconded and approved with one opposition, one person opposed, to request selectmen's approval to establish two funds as named in the motion. Two separate funds. Gift funds. They are gift funds. You got that?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right. See, that gift from the Friends of the Library just triggered all kinds of things here. So.
Okay.
All right, the last new business item is the visibility of the COA board, and you back up a little bit and you stop and think and realize that we did a lot in October for visibility of the board, and we need to keep doing that. There's no question, I think, in anyone's mind about that. So, what we have done, and Liz mentioned earlier, December's a busy month. So we were trying to not drop the whole effort that we put forth in October. November's been kind of quiet. And so we scheduled two, to get it in the broadcaster, two focus groups late in the afternoon, hoping that we would be able to, and we do need to get an article in the paper about them too, so to get the word out. As also was mentioned, the meeting last Friday, a lot of discussion centered around how do we get to these people? And how do we, you know, and Bob was saying, he has a son who doesn't get home until 6:15, and how do you get them to want to go out again, you know, and run out the door and for an hour even? So several suggestions came up. We talked about even when having a message put on, you know you're from Littleton when? And maybe we could put something together in that, because that's a population within the age range we think that a lot of people are that read that. And that might be one way to, you know, gather some information or make people more aware that we want to hear from them. So I'm asking for you people to think about this too. I mean, there's got to be ways that we can capture and get input from this population, age bracket, population in Littleton. And in keeping with visibility, that whole concept, we have the two focus groups planned, one on the 16th, one on the 12th, and one on the 16th in December. We also are having a table outside of the town fair that, thanks to Anita and Susan, the night of the football game,
We talked to
connected.
Nancy.
They know people that I don't know in town anyway, and that came up, and Anita knows people, Susan's saying.
And by extension.
Yes. But anyway, and so as a result of that, that's where that all came from, the night of the football game. And so, see, there's another Benny of even being there at the football game. Because somebody said to us, you know, how come you're not going to have a table at the fair, out in the lobby? So I'm asking people, now I know that Maureen and I
I'm
are,
definitely not available.
I know, well, we both are in the knitting group, and the knitting group has a table inside. And I also have my grandchildren that whole weekend. So,
And that's the
pardon me?
7th?
That's the 7th. So I'm asking board members if they might be available to man that table at the town fair, outside of the fair itself, and for any portion of the day to let me
Outside of
know.
the fair itself,
It's in the hallway.
In the entranceway.
the
That's-
hallway is totally full because of the.
No, I have a table. I have a spot.
Oh, okay.
I have a spot.
Already done it.
We do.
That's what I was.
We are designated. We have a place.
Yeah,
Okay.
So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to just hand out information, or is?
Well, I wanted to talk to the board about that if March
so, no,
is
go
okay
right
with
ahead,
that.
no, because it was Anita that really had the connection, and that's how that all happened, and it's a great idea, I think, and so we just need to make sure we help out with it. I'll try to split myself, but go ahead, talk.
We will have the same thing that we had at town meeting,
Mm-hmm.
the same table that we have at town meeting. But where it is a Christmas fair, I was wondering if we could dress it up a bit and make some little crafty things to decorate it around so it looks like Christmas, or put a banner behind us, Merry Christmas, or come up with something that we could, so they don't walk by our table, oh, there's just stuff being
Yeah, yeah.
given out. You wanna, and maybe have candy or something that we could give out, or, this is a big thing, a bake table.
But they usually already have a baked table.
They do,
there, you
yeah.
know, and we couldn't sell it, right?
No.
We can't. it
But
would
we
have to be
could do
donated.
donations.
It could be a giveaway, or if we could come up with something really quick, we could do a raffle.
You have to have a license for a raffle.
You just have to go downstairs and pay $5.
Oh, well,
Or
that's the
20.
license, okay.
It's either 5 or 25, I don't remember which. And Diane's, but you'd have to think of something.
But then we're
that you could
soliciting for
raffle
money,
off.
Well,
so-
give them a senior.
There you go.
I think that might put us,
That might
that's
make-
raising money.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit late.
That could be a fun.
But I'm willing, if you want to think about it and call me at home, scheduling, so that
That'd be
we
great.
have all the times,
This time, it's 9 to 3, is it not?
9 to 4, 9 to 3.
9 to 4, well, I think it ends
I
close
think it's
to
only
3.
3.
And also, that same day, there is going to be a Christmas concert.
That's at night.
That's,
Yeah, I know.
Everything's happening that day.
Yeah, it's like, it's crazy.
it's gonna be a really busy weekend.
There's also a Santa brunch that morning.
That's right, at the
At the Marriott, is that
Marriott.
day?
At Marriott at 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Oh, so much for going there.
Oh, no.
The,
I have to be at the fair.
What's at 8 o'clock?
The,
Brunch with Santa?
yeah, the Courtyard Marriott is doing like a give back to the community event by having a brunch with Santa event, and they contacted us to contact our outreach families first to put it out to them to see if they wanted to come with their kids and have brunch with Santa, all free, and all the kids who come get a stocking of goodies when they arrive.
wow.
Great.
Yeah.
That's that morning too.
Can I rent a kid somewhere?
I think Amy has an extra.
What I don't know about organizing this, it's open Friday night for tables,
Mhm.
For setup.
for
Setup,
setup.
yes.
So, do we have to do that setup Friday night for this table?
That's up
And-
to us, I think.
And how are we gonna do that?
Well, I know the knitting group is gonna be setting up
Use the truck.
that night. And Liz we have to get tables down there for the knitting group, so I'm sure that when they're getting tables down there for the knitting group, they can get one or two, whatever we need, probably one. Huh?
Yeah, Amy and I might be able to work something out with a truck.
And we need a couple of
Because we'll
chairs.
we'll
Three
need
chairs.
tables and chairs.
Yeah, we needed 3 chairs, I think we decided, because you can't have too many more than 3 people in the knitting one. You're gonna need 2 or 3 chairs though
Just
for people
Probably two.
to sit at the table.
I have folding chairs, and I have a lot of those tables.
Well, we have tables.
Okay.
It's just a question of getting the move down there and then having somebody come back
And pick them up.
and pick them up at 3:30 or so. So, that, I think we can handle. And decorating them, I think that's a great idea.
So we have that table piece, a big blue tablecloth. Cloth.
And what are we gonna put on it?
Oh, we had wonderful handouts. We had a table full of handouts that we gave. Mary was asking me before we started this meeting about the information brochures that you recently had, and I said, we had those at the tables.
Yeah.
And we gave them out.
Look at these shiny new packets.
I
like
wow.
Nice.
Oh, how nice.
Very
Nice.
professional.
Cool. Oh, my gosh.
Who did that?
What's inside?
All the
Good job,
outreach.
Amy.
All the outreach information?
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh,
Isn't that nice?
wow, that is beautiful.
It's got our transportation magnet. It's got intake
Yeah,
information.
it's got the handout, Mary, you were talking about. It has
Program
the general,
services.
Mm-hmm.
wow, that
I
is
love it.
beautiful. Can you have a few hundred ready? No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah.
You can, oh,
I
wow.
only have 50 stickers.
Yeah, I gotta have 50 ready for you.
Do you have a lot of magnets?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's another item. And then there are things that aren't in there that we had to hand out too. Copies of the broadcaster, we had, the table was full of things for people to pick up. So, but I agree with you about having candy, because that'll get people
How
to
about the
stop.
Christmas kisses?
Yeah.
Just Christmas, the Hershey kisses,
Yeah.
red, green, and silver?
How about a brochure of some kind for 50 to 65?
Good idea.
Santa is smiling on 50 to 65 at the Littleton COA. And
Huh, it would
That's a
be
great
nice
idea.
if we
specific
could,
information that would be of value to them and of importance to them.
How about
Or
even information
what
about
would they
focus
like?
groups?
You got it, Ryan?
And
What would they
maybe,
like?
and when,
mean-
all this about the focus groups even, and we could plan some, maybe specifically if we got information, feedback from them or
we
something.
could do, Santa's,
Here we go. We got a
Santa's
job
wish
to do.
list.
the Santa's wish list for
Yeah.
50s and over.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, I like that.
So if I make a poster to post behind there,
And then make individual things to hand out to every person who walks by you who's under 50, who's 50 and over, or
We think.
anywhere in that vicinity.
Interestingly enough, we had a hard time getting 50 is 50, I don't know
To
what.
even come and look at us.
Or
We've
to,
been-
or to take any information.
They
They
don't want
want
it.
no part of it. They don't.
No, they did not. I mean, I even went out into the group and
Right.
and tried to, come out over here and
Yep,
I
they
couldn't-
want no part of
they
it.
don't
They
want
don't
any part.
want to accept that they are
Pushing.
approaching
Right.
that area.
That's why something like this, which does not say anything about being elderly, it does not say anything about being old, it's Santa's gift to 50 to 65. And in it, we have the kind of things that they're looking for. We are looking at a
Right.
new senior center, which would have the possibility of such and such and such and such, that kind of thing. We just want you to know that what's happening.
I agree, I think it's a great idea.
Just hand it
Santa's
to everybody who
gift-
comes
Santa's
in.
wish list.
Santa's wish list.
That's it. Talk to
We're glad we have you. Can you put one of those together and
Ryan.
make
I had to stop and
500
think.
copies?
He can do anything.
Are you gonna come and work on Saturday? Because I want you in that shirt. I love that shirt.
No, the thing is, if you're there and you're giving them out, if you look at
There,
this
there,
board,
stop.
people are getting it from this board, or say getting it from elders, if they're getting it from you,
There's a
That's
whole
true.
different.
That is true.
Ryan, you just draw people to you.
We should all get some masks of younger people.
Oh, no.
No, that's corny.
what are you doing on Saturday the 7th? Don't have a big date, do you?
So you want just a poster that says Santa's wish list 50 to 65-year-olds?
Yeah, why not?
And then have a
Or 50 and up.
Well, if he might
let-
put something together, collaborate with him.
I agree with Mary, because if people don't want to come and talk to you because you're 50 and over, they don't want to hear the word 65. So
No,
50 and older.
50 and up,
50
yeah.
plus.
I'd say 50
I like
plus.
50 plus.
I like 50 plus too.
Yes.
Mhm.
So can I work with you with that?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, there we go. All right, what's that now?
And
then
Sue's
Susan's
gonna help too.
Sue will help.
I will
That'd be
help.
kind of fun.
Okay, does anybody want to sign up for 2 hours now?
I'll be there for 2 hours anyway, at some point. I'm not exactly sure
So
what.
will I, because I'll be there with the
I
Masons,
can
I'll be there
do
with
it
the
in the
Baptist church.
morning.
I don't.
Well, don't say you'll be there some time of the day.
We have to have certain
Specific
times.
hours, so
Well, I
that
know, but I'm trying to, what are the hours for this thing?
9 to 3.
9 to 3.
So 9 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 3. 2-hour blocks.
9 to 11.
9 to 11, yeah, that works. That's what, we have to do that for the knitting group too. Because you can't have too many people there either. That's overwhelming. So
1
you
to
want-
3 for Nancy.
That's nice.
I have one of those
That was really
lighted Christmas
nice.
trees that we could put, one of those ceramic Christmas trees that's about this tall with lights, the little lights.
Which will be great.
That
We
will-
have power.
We need to make sure we have power.
Probably, but
Well, we could do an extension.
And I'll cover 12.
No, it's 11 to
11
1.
to 1.
He'll cover whenever
I'll
he
bet on
can.
that.
I'll do the last section. Because I'm going to go to the Santa thing and then.
so you're going to do 1 to 3,
Sure.
Liz?
I don't know what
Let's
I'm doing
open.
Saturday yet.
You gotta bring it.
11 to 1.
And how many
Didn't
people
look
do you
like
usually
maybe-
have at the table? Two?
Yeah,
Well-
2, I think is.
Two.
Yeah,
I'll do 1 to
What's the
3.
date of
You're gonna
this
do
thing?
1 to 3?
Saturday the 7th.
1 to 3 has 2 on there already.
All right, so just 9 to 11 needs 1.
I'll do 9
I'll
to
do one,
11.
I'll do one of them, and then I'll just work around it.
Whatever you need.
Put me down
Fill me
for
in.
something and tell me.
So I'm doing
You'll get
11.
the message the
11
night
to 1.
before.
Okay, so do you have 2 at every slot?
Put me down.
Put me down for whatever you need to fill in.
Me too. Because I'm just gonna be, I've already told my son,
wanna
whatever,
cut
I'll
me
take
off
care of the
because
kids,
I'm
but
going
whatever,
to
they
be
can't, I can't
somewhere
take them to
else.
hockey that day.
ADDIE.
No.
Ryan's gonna be an elf.
Oh, no!
What? What happened?
Oh, no. Are you going to fire me?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm in deep, I'm telling you.
Did you cross Patty Hunt?
I spelled it wrong.
G-E-A-D-D.
I'm going to be fired.
I.e.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
putting Marge and Patty together,
Okay, what time?
11 to 1.
I'm gonna write it in right now, so I don't mess
So,
up.
Anita, Sue,
So, if I'm gonna do 9 to 11, does that mean I'm gonna be setting up the table, or it's already gonna be set up the night before, or do I have to pick up stuff, the
the
day
table and
before?
chair will be there, because you're gonna get those. You and I will talk about all the stuff that you had
Yep.
at the
I'll
football
have the
table
box there. If we can set it up and just lay it all out,
that night.
yeah.
See,
It
nobody
would be
will bother with
perfect
that.
if we could do it on Friday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it-
When can we go in on Friday?
You don't
7
know yet.
o'clock.
Did you
at
find that out?
And now 1 minute before, because
Call her?
Friday night, so-
because Millie will not let you in before then.
Dave's
it
gonna
really
try.
7?
He'll be back, so he can
As far as I know, it's 7 o'clock. I will check again.
Well, David and Nancy will be in there most of the day, setting up the floor plan.
Yeah, but
Aye.
they wouldn't let us in. We got in big trouble.
I've heard that's happened before.
No, yeah, Millie's very, very strict about
Well,
that.
because she wants to be fair to every group,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes sense.
I just remember, yeah, because we finally got her permission to unload stuff so people could leave,
Right,
but we couldn't stay inside. But she let us bring it in and leave it and then
right,
come back
because
in
the
at
truck,
right
the
time.
truck was
There we
delivering, so we could bring it in, but that was it.
And then we had to leave until the right time.
You could bring it to your spot? So that was, well, that's not bad, bringing it to
She
your
was
spot.
very nice. That
That's
was
huge.
That was huge.
'Cause everybody coming in at once at 7 o'clock could be a real circus.
Mm.
All right.
What time did you give me?
I haven't given you, I've got
I thought she gave you 11.
Mary and Anita at 9, Patty and Marge at 11 to 1, and Nancy and Liz at 1 to 3. So we'll talk.
Okay,
I'll put you someplace.
I know.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
So
Be a
kisses,
substitute.
You're gonna send us an email
Yes,
to
do you
remind
want-
us.
Do you want kisses donated? Hershey Kisses donated? I can, yeah. So we
Yeah.
can have a big, huge,
Yeah, somebody
2 or
want-
3 bowls of them or something like that.
Or we can have a bowl and refill it as the day goes,
Okay.
every 2 hours, otherwise,
every hour, the way the kids will be.
it'll,
drinking.
right,
Right.
it'll be
Okay.
empty before we know.
So
I was gonna get
donations
the little
are,
candy canes
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
The little tiny candy cane.
I
candy
have
cans.
a lot, maybe 100 of the sweet tarts. They're all wrapped.
Yeah.
That I got for Halloween, and I bought this big bag, and we only had 12 kids.
I didn't have any.
Plus other candy.
I didn't have any.
So I can donate those, because I'm trying to figure out what to do with them.
All right, well, throw that in, kids will eat.
I
If you weren't
picked up
trying to
Kids
get
will
rid-
eat any candy,
If you're trying to
yes.
get rid of candy,
Kit Kat
bring it,
and
because
stuff
it'll
like
go,
that.
because the kids will, the kids will do it. That was nice of you, Nancy, to work from 12 to 3.
all right, folks. I hate to do this because I'm really enjoying this planning, but can I just kind of, can we wrap this up? And if Anita gives you a call, please answer and find out what she needs, and then we'll go from there. If you need help, I'll talk to you anyway, but. And the other thing is, wear your badge. At these events, you need to have your badge on so people do know who you are, even though we're not trying to scare the 50-year-olds away. But, you know, they need to know who you are. So, I'm also asking if you have any other ideas, you know, when you're any place about, oh, why can't we do a table here or there? Please let us know. Speak up. Keep your mind open to.
The one thing that happened
Visibility.
at the TRED committee meeting was Fred had brought up the fact that we need to start being aware and being out so that the TRED program is available, but also the COA. He suggested that our board or Liz get in touch with,
Third Thursday, Park and
well,
Rec.
third Thursday, but also Alicia, and find out all of Alicia's plans, like the truck thing and whatever she's doing, and make sure wherever she is with a program, that we have a table.
That's a good idea.
For
So
TRED, but that was for TRED specifically.
That was for TRED, but why can't we just have,
I don't see any reason why
we could
not.
have a COA table and one part devoted to TRED.
Okay.
We've actually been working a lot with Parks and Rec, trying to share resources because we're spread so thin. And Nicole right now is working on a grant to fund some kind of, merchandise isn't the word I'm looking for, but some promotional things for Littleton Coalition Against Addiction that will go into all of the Holiday Helper 5K run bags that they give out. So we're trying to capture the same audience and working together to do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you could use a table at one of the high school and middle school plays.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It's a good idea.
Of course, it's a good idea.
That was a good idea.
They are very well attended.
Very well attended.
And what about, like, at Indian Hill? Or when they have their concerts at night?
But that's a private organization.
This Saturday.
You'd have to get their permission to do, we have to get permission to be at the high school, I realize, but, yeah.
But at their lunches, that they, you bring your lunch,
The box lunch?
the box lunch.
Indian Hill covers 23 communities, so you're probably not going to be as effective there.
No.
Very, I can count on my hands the people from Littleton to go to the symphony.
Have you tried the churches?
As far as having a
Table.
table or something at a church fair? No. We haven't gone there. But there is one other thing before we move on, and it's getting late, so I don't mean to rush it, but one of the other things that I wanted to mention, and I almost didn't because I got so wrapped up in all of this, is the 2 focus groups that we are having in December. The person that made comments about the focus group that what he was in was, now I can't remember his name. Gary Wilson, thank you, Chair of the Finance Committee. He attended one of our focus groups, and then when it was over, he said, "I am so glad I came.
Yeah.
I never even thought about XYZ."
Yeah.
And so that made me think, people on all of the town boards are town residents. That population, a lot of them are in their 50s, some are older, but there aren't too many that are in their 20s or 30s. They're usually a little bit in the 40s, 50s, that age range. And so I just am thinking, we ought to invite members of these boards to one of these 2 focus groups in December to see if any of them can attend. A personal invitation would be nice.
Would
What's it
Liz
say?
write that out as an invitation thing, or just?
We, as board members, I'm gonna go to the selectmen's meeting, not tonight, but probably the next one they have, and just say, I just would like to, for information purposes, when it's open, public time, and say, I'd like you to know that we have these focus groups coming up. I know that some of you have, are very aware of, what Elder and Human Services does, but we're talking about a senior center. We need input from people like yourselves as well, and the planning board, and there are other boards, the Affordable Housing Trust. Maureen can say something to that group when she's there, and say, we're inviting you to come to one of these. If you can make it, we want an hour of your time for your input into this very important subject matter.
What about if you made a flyer also so that we could hand them
One
out?
page, we can send it to each board and ask them to distribute it to their members the next time they meet. If we could have the 2 evening ones in January, dates also, so that they have a choice of the 4:30, because many of those are gonna be working again.
Yeah,
It
and
would
know
be
what the traffic's
fantastic.
like coming from.
All right, why don't we do that?
All right, we'll
Just
do that.
expand that.
Your flyer.
We'll do a flyer, expand the dates to January, put all 4 dates down, and ask for them to, call and get that out to them. I just am thinking, if they get a personal invitation like Gary, we were so impressed with the fact that he was there.
Well, he spoke to me at the personnel board afterwards, and he said, I can't tell you how happy I am that you invited me, because I didn't know a lot of what the people in Littleton were saying. And, he even had good suggestions, like
Yes.
maybe a workout room, and it could be open at 6 o'clock in the morning for citizens to come before they go to work.
Let's plan on that 6 to 9 from now on. Not 9 in the morning, 9 at night.
So he had good ideas that
Right.
nobody in that
Daycare
room had thought about.
And that's why we wanted.
And that was his age group speaking.
Yeah.
And was the.
So I would just like that. That's a great idea though about that, because I was struggling with, I mean, there's quite a few boards. I have a list of 14 here and there's more. And we could send it to the chair, ask them to disseminate, the flyers.
Just ask them to give one to each one of their members, period.
Yes, and we can make it appealing. We'll put something together. You can actually get your guy involved here. What's his name? Not Brian.
Ryan.
I have to stop and think, Ryan. So, thank you. That's a great idea. So I didn't want to lose that because we're trying to somehow use these, but get them to come to a focus group. 1 hour. We just want 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, we've got Liz's report, and she's going to, Amy is here.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of scoop outreach into my report because
Okay.
Nicole's
It's
out sick
scary.
today. What?
Now we're back to what we do every day, and there's so much more than there ever has been. It scares the life out of me.
It's
Yeah.
exciting. It's
It
really
is.
exciting. Don't get scared.
The numbers are amazing. The numbers are amazing.
Okay.
They are. They're just unbelievable.
Yep.
Let's start with the department updates. We already talked about rental voucher program. We talked about the donations. The Elder Affairs formula grant was submitted last week on its due date. The formula grant is the grant that every council on aging receives from the state. The amount of money is based on how many elders are in your town based on the 2010 census. So that means Littleton gets $20,952 this year. The formula grant historically, for the past year, has been used to fund the administrative assistant position. So when I wrote it for fiscal year 20 this year, continued with the administrative assistant position, and the little extra is for continuing to fund the Littleton Social Club program. That being said, I don't think it's a great idea to have a grant fund a staff position. So I've been working with Cheryl in the finance department to remove the staff from the formula grant and take other things out of the budget and put them onto the formula grant.
Right.
So, if you look at this colored sheet, this is my fiscal year 2021 budget. And so you'll see for next year, I can't do it this year, but for 2021, what I'm planning to do is put the administrative assistant position into the general fund budget, increase it from 15 hours to 19.5 hours. That's this one. So that alone was an 11% increase from the previous year's budget. So if you go down the green box, you'll see there's a couple zeros. Those are things, so office supplies, community programs, I can move those things to the formula grant to pay for. So it's swapping from one bucket to the other bucket. It's just not great practice to have staff paid for by a grant.
No.
Especially when you want it to be a long-term sustainable position.
Right.
Any questions about this? On the back, on the flip side of the budget,
I have
if
a
you,
question.
if you get out your microscope,
Your office supplies are a little low.
yes, that's all going
That scares me.
for the budget, 21.
Yeah.
Yep, that's going to formula grant.
Okay, so the money will be there, it just won't be coming out of the budget for office supplies.
Oh, I'm leaving $175 in the
Yeah,
general fund
right.
budget, and then the
But
rest of
your
it.
actual costs were 565.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So I'll be billing probably at least
Yeah,
500-600.
okay, that's
to
fine, as
formula
long
grant.
as you got a place that it's coming from.
Yep.
Why is postage so low when you have a monthly broadcaster to send out?
That's not in it.
The Friends of the Council on Aging pay for the broadcaster to be mailed every month. Out of the postage line, there's a $235 annual fee for bulk mailing that gets paid to the post office. That is also being moved to the formula grant in 2021.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you to the Friends. for paying that postage. That's
Yes, because that's
a
huge.
large gift.
Because that's huge.
It's
Mhm.
about $170 every month.
Yeah, that's a large gift.
Yeah.
New to this budget is also the vehicle repair and maintenance line that was not previously there. In the past, historically, it's kind of been fit in other places, so I had Cheryl help me add a new line item for vehicle repair and maintenance. We renamed community programs. It was called recreation. We renamed it to community programs to encompass more, because recreation, I don't know, seemed to.
We're still handling the Crosstown Connect in our budget.
Yep, the Crosstown Connect is on,
I know
yep,
what it is, but
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna take it away from us completely.
not yet.
What is that, since I'm new?
That's to pay for the vans from Mark.
Oh,
That pays for the dispatchers, Monday to Friday,
Okay.
8:30 to 4:30.
And does every town pay for that, or just Littleton?
No,
Just-
everybody.
Just the towns in the collaborative, yeah.
And the ones in the collaborative.
So like.
And that's our
Westford, Acton,
portion
Weaver,
is
yeah.
what about it.
Yeah, which I think is a great deal, $11,000 for 2 staff
Yeah.
members to dispatch for
Monday through
full-time.
Friday, yeah.
And that has worked out all right. It has not created problems with them doing all the towns. And have we had a lot of stuff that's gone on over and above in Littleton? I mean, have our people been going to Acton and so forth? Or, I know that they said that could happen, that one of our vans could be dispatched.
Oh. No, ours are mainly, I would say 99.9% of the time,
Good.
strictly for Littleton
Okay,
residents.
so it does work out very well.
Yeah.
I have a question about the EHS staff wages.
Yep.
How many people does that incorporate?
That is 19.5 hour admin assistant and a full-time outreach worker.
Oh, okay, so it's more than one person?
Yep.
Okay.
It's 1.5 persons.
Yeah, we're paying the staff person more than we're paying anybody else.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, could I apply for that job?
and because I'm new,
Yep.
the $900 for the meal site is for what?
That's for the extras when they go to Donaldson's and buy a lot of fresh produce, just extra food.
For the Thursday lunches and for
Yeah.
the Friday lunches?
It's also for incidentals in the kitchen, so when we have to have, like, duct cleaning or something sporadic,
Okay.
anything meal site related. Minuteman Senior Services pays for pretty much everything else. The meal site manager, the utensils, the paper plates down there.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So, this might
They haven't
change.
bought it yet, though, so. don't-
Yes, right, this might change. This is a working
Progress.
document. Yes.
Progress.
I thought
So
I
this is
had
what I
read,
submitted.
I thought I had read someplace about 0%.
Zero-based budget?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so this is
I'm
the
trying to
product.
figure out how we're gonna justify that on a zero-based budget.
Oh, flip it over, get your microscope out.
Okay.
I've broken it down and said, pretty much, accounted for pretty much every dollar where it's being spent.
So if you can account for it, then basically they don't give you a hard time?
Plus, we have the,
It's still a 9% increase over the previous.
Yeah.
But we have good reason. If you go back to my director's report and look at the bottom, there's important statistics.
I was gonna say, yeah.
So when you're doing the formula grant, you review all your stats over the past couple of years and formulate it. So the first 3 months of fiscal year 19 compared to the first 3 months of fiscal year 20, it's a 54% increase in total usage already. That's the number of check-ins we have.
That's huge.
Unbelievable.
that's crazy.
Unduplicated seniors checking in from fiscal year 18 to 19 increased 41%. And the number of unduplicated residents under age 60, so our families and young folks, increased 154% since 2016. Now that number is very high because 2016 is when we first started, but
Yeah, but
it's
that's
growing, growing,
crazy.
growing. Yeah. And if you flip
Crazy.
over and look at the other statistics, these come right from my
People
senior
will be getting to
center.
listen and know that we're here.
Yes, that's
good.
right.
Have you considered the possibility of raising all of the stretch and flex and all of that stuff to $3?
That's on my,
Do you
It's on my
want us to approve that
um,
as of whenever?
maybe next meeting we can start a discussion about it.
Okay. I don't think that's a bad idea. Some of them are already paying 3, some of us are not. There's no reason, and because we do have scholarships for those who can't, so.
Right. I think I would like to have a discussion about that at next meeting when I have some more data, and then perhaps have a rollout of July 1st to give people time
Right.
to process the information and ask questions.
Excellent.
Fit for Life is already $3, correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't collect any of that.
A lot of them
Look at
are
these.
$3.
What
Yeah.
are these numbers
Yeah.
here? Have you caught
The
that?
yogas, I
Yeah,
think, are all
it's crazy.
$3.
Yeah. One of Carol's classes is 2. So that was
Yeah,
the one
that's
I wanted.
ours, that's Gretchen Plus.
Yeah.
So if you flip it over on the back and look at the statistics.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and these numbers are only as good as people remembering to sign in, or the sign-in sheets making it back to our front desk to be put into the computer. So you can bet these numbers are probably higher, but this
Reality.
this is just as good as the sign-in sheets we receive.
Well, when I started doing the crafts, I was lucky to have 10 or 12 people.
Right.
And now
You're turning people away.
You're
I
turning
have
them away.
25 to 30, and I already heard there's 32 for December, and I was gonna cut it at 30, but I'll go to 35 now. And it's just growing and growing. Look at the helper over there saying
35, okay.
Well, that's a crazy day, anyway. We just-
Yes, that's okay.
Anyone have any specific questions?
No, it's amazing. And you know that she's right. I mean,
No, yeah, she is.
Not everybody's getting recorded.
What are the yellow blocks?
I just thought they were significant.
Big numbers.
all right.
Take a look. They're
But
big
it's
numbers.
not, other than the fact that they're large numbers.
Yep.
Right, this is the good direction we're going in.
Yeah. So the bottom box, the yellow highlighted numbers are the highest number for that time frame. So October was probably our busiest month in fiscal year 2019. October fiscal year 20 is our highest ride so far.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, just amazing.
Shows that there is a need.
For sure. For sure.
And they can't, obviously, should realize that it's costing a little bit more to do it all.
Yes.
You would hope. One would hope.
Amy, did I miss anything in terms of outreach? I think Nicola has the outreach statistics in your packet. This form annually gets submitted with the formula grant, so they all went to Elder Affairs as well. And the last thing in your packet is the Minuteman annual report. Minuteman is our local aging services access point. They provide our protective services, our meal site manager, our state home care services, our Shine counselor. So every year they submit an annual report to us, how many
And
people
these-
they serve.
These numbers are just Littleton numbers?
Yep,
Okay.
Minuteman serves.
Some of the
22
comments are all state, but the numbers that go with them are all Littleton.
Do we have a Minuteman
Person that goes,
liaison person?
We don't.
and that's a problem. Jean Johnson was the person, and then we'd never been able to fill that since she left. So we need someone to be the contact and attend their monthly meetings from Littleton, from the COA board.
It's during the day though, right?
It is during the day.
But it's in Bedford. That's
In Bedford, yeah.
I could do that.
So,
I could do that.
you could do that.
you want to do that?
Well, you and I had a discussion on the phone.
Well, that's okay, you can switch.
Yeah.
Would you like to switch?
Yes.
All right, that's fine. And, Mary, we did have a conversation about the Transportation Committee and the fact that she finds it.
I find I have nothing to contribute
Okay.
because I don't even understand the letters they use.
Welcome to my world.
So, and we talked about the fact that it's okay to step down when you, if you're feeling that way. And, try to work with Minuteman, and that's probably an area that, there are nurses and people there that maybe that you would feel more comfortable with, so
Well, at
that'd be
least I
great.
could contribute
Could you
something to it.
Hook her up.
I'm
We will-
amazed at 27 people needing protective services in Littleton. 182 having volunteers to visit train the nursing facilities, provide advocacy and assistance to resolving problems. That's just Littleton people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So protective services is
Oh, down here.
abuse, neglect, self-neglect even.
Mhm.
So Sue, did you get that about Mary Picard? I am appointing Mary Picard to be our representative.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I was editing something else, go ahead.
I'm appointing Mary Picard to be the COA Board Representative to Minuteman Senior Services, the liaison, whatever it is, whatever they're called. And Liz can hook you up with the contact person?
Yep.
Do you know what, like, is it a Wednesday every week or
I have to
once a month or something like that?
Yeah, it's once a month. I'll have to ask
Okay.
what it is.
And we will also let the Transportation Committee, if anyone else who has an interest in transportation, we do need, there is a they do want a COA board member on their board. So that leaves that spot vacant, so
How often
consider
do they
that.
meet?
Usually, well, initially he said like 3 to 4 times a year, but I think we've been doing it almost every month.
Oh, really?
And it's just like, it's all engineers that are on there, and I'm not an engineer.
It's very public
Liz-
work focused.
And Liz,
Yeah.
you attend some of those meetings too, don't you?
I try.
Yeah, but I think we were appointed because of the walkability, sidewalks, bike road, remember, the bicycle paths, things of that nature under transportation. But we do need to have somebody, and I don't, from
I
looking
said
at their
I'd-
meetings,
I said
don't,
I'll stay on for the year.
you're gonna stay on until May.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nancy had a question.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Nancy.
This is about the report from Minuteman. The numbers that are listed under each one, is that per
I'm
month?
gonna stay on the transportation
No,
committee
annually.
until May.
Unduplicated people.
Oh, unduplicated people, all right.
What does unduplicated mean?
So if you, if you're a protective services client,
And you've never been a client before?
well, say you're a client in January and then you're a client again in November, you're only counted once. That
Because
would be
then you're
undu-
duplicated.
Yeah, well, if you're counting the duplicated number, we would count both of those times in a total number. But unduplicated is just one brand new person seen
In a year?
annually, yeah.
Thank you, because the senior diner I knew was more than 32.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know the thing about the senior diner? None of us sign in there. It would be,
I used to sign in every time I eat down there. I sign in. You're supposed to sign in. Where have you been?
Maureen.
excuse me,
Well, that's why the sign-up sheets are on the counter.
sometimes I do, but I know a lot of time I don't.
Well, you should have to improve that.
I will try.
That number goes towards our statistics.
Yes.
Now, what about the women's breakfast? Is that part
There's
of?
no sign-up sheet for that
But he
either.
takes the names.
I get those little slips.
Yes, yep.
And we count them. If they make their way upstairs.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, then maybe we should have a sheet that we sign in.
That would be helpful.
Then whether those little sheets get
Bingo.
upstairs or not.
Get bingo, yeah.
Because there's that, there's the men's
Right.
breakfast,
We get
and
that.
the veterans breakfast.
I would entertain a motion to approve the directors and outreach.
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Okay, did you get that?
No, I didn't. All of a sudden, you what?
Approval of the director's
The reports, the director and outreach reports.
Oh, okay.
Approved.
First, it was,
I don't know who said it first. Who said it first? Maureen.
Maureen
Bob.
did it.
Bob, and then
I
Maureen.
seconded.
Here we go.
okay.
All those in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anyone opposed? And no abstentions. It's unanimous, so thank you. Okay.
This was a great meeting.
It's been a great meeting. We've accomplished a lot of great stuff. So I will entertain a motion to,
So moved.
thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Bob and Mary this time. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, no, any abstentions?